Back up.
It's Otto.
Good morning. Welcome to the Rhyme Beauty live stream. Today is Saturday, August 14th, and today we're going to go over the gaming news and we're going to play some Returnal. Before that, I just wanted to remind you guys that my latest video on Final Fantasy VI has been finished and uploaded to my YouTube channel. So if you haven't seen that already, please check it out. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Other than that, we can start directly into the gaming news, and after that we'll be going to play Returnal, because I just got to like a pivotal point where I guess finished the game for the first time, but there's more to the story where you gotta play through it a couple times. So I'm interested to get into that later. As always, if you have anything that you want to post in the Discord I have here, I will go over it every Saturday for the gaming news. We missed last week, so I'm going to go over some stuff that I did previously, which was only like 3 or 4 things. Some of it even overlaps with Axiom Verge. The first thing is about Street Fighter V, and while I don't play the game and there's not a whole lot here for me, the thing that I want to note is this seems to announce the final update for this game. When did Street Fighter V come out? Street Fighter V originally released in like a really unfinished state, so it came out 2016. It's hard to believe it's that old. So been about 5 years, and they've constantly updated it, put in just standard features that you would expect to be in these games. Let me pull up the, you'll want this. So, yeah, again, the game released in a sort of unfinished state, mostly because Street Fighter is one of the biggest competitive fighting games, and so they basically did the minimum in order to make it tournament ready so that people could play it competitively. So like from the ground up, it's a competitive fighting game, and I remember them saying that they wouldn't do multiple releases like physically. It would just be Street Fighter. I wonder if I can find that article too. Turns out that didn't happen, because like past games have had Street Fighter 4, Ultra Street Fighter 4. I don't even know if like I think Super Street Fighter 4 was Super Street Fighter 4 a thing? It was. And then there was let's see. Because I think there was a couple. So Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. 3D, I guess, doesn't count. That was the DS launch title. Bolt. What is Street Fighter 4? Bolt. Oh, Ultra is the other one I'm thinking of. So they have Super, they have Ultra. Street Fighter 4 Championship Edition seems to be the very last version. So they've always done re-releases, just adding new content and like even lumping in DLC content. And they decided to do the same thing with this because, you know, fighting games get expensive nowadays with the base price, all the DLC, it's like multiple season passes. Street Fighter V, I didn't even realize this is Season Pass 5. So the important thing specifically for this update is they provided information for the 2 upcoming DLCs, Oro and Akira, and then the final one, Luke. The thing that I really just want to talk about is it's interesting that, you know, 5 years later, this game is finally starting to wrap up, and I am gonna wait until there is a final version of this game released, which I'm assuming since this last pass is out, that'll be, I don't know, on its way in like a year. Because I'm interested in trying out all kinds of fighting games, but I don't usually stick with a lot of them. I just like learning the mechanics and going from there. So because there's no like major incentive for me, I don't mind just waiting it out, playing this game when it's like completely done being supported. just to try it out and have fun with it. That's all I have for Street Fighter 4. Here's another short one. So, Super Monkey Ball, I actually pre-ordered because this apparently has content from the first 3 Monkey Ball games. But on top of that, they're adding crossover characters. So this one that is Jet Set Radio, I didn't even link one that's Sonic and Tails are going to be in this as well. So I like the idea that these characters don't really change how the game is played, but it's just fun new content added to an old package. So it's cool seeing like remade things get expanded, just like new content in whatever form it is. On top of that, Jet Set Radio hasn't really like seen the light of day in a very long time. The last thing was Jet Set Future on what I believe is the original Xbox. So it's cool that we're getting, you know, some kind of acknowledgement. Something that I'll talk about later is they've actually got a spiritual successor, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. So there's a new trailer for that, which I'll go into when we get to the Indie Direct. But yeah, again, not too much to say. I think it's cool that they're doing crossovers and they're adding new content in whatever form. Another small one. This I caught my guard just because it's Platinum Games and story of Soul Cresta's origins as told by Hideki Kamiya. So this is... Let me see these credits here. I don't know what Hamster Corporation is, but I do know Hideki Kamiya. He is responsible for games like Okami, Beautiful Joe, Bayonetta, Devil May Cry. So he's had a hand in a lot of stuff. What's Yuzo Koshiro? Yuzo Koshiro. Let's see your work. Not really anything I'm familiar with. Streets of Rage. Shenmue 2. Amazing Island. That's a forgotten game if I've ever seen one. Castlevania, Portrait of Ruin, Etrian Odyssey. Brawl. Arrangement of the Mean theme, Zelda, and Norfair Metroid. Okay. Okay. So this is a top-down shoot-'em-up for the PS4. It seems like very, you know, small budget, but, I mean, it looks very retro. So I was just interested seeing that this was from Platinum Games, and Hideki Kamiya has, like, a direct hand in it. So that was interesting. Is there... Because I've never heard of this franchise. Ooh, Axiom Verge 2. So, if you haven't played Axiom Verge, highly recommend it. The original game came out in 2015, and it's become one of my favorite indie games of all time. So, like, quickly about the first game. It was released in 2015, and indie games didn't get the same kind of spotlight that they do nowadays. So I remember, and I hope I can eventually find this interview. This game is made by one person by the name of Thomas Happ, and during an interview he talked about if Nintendo's not going to make a 2D Metroid game, like, I'm going to make it. And at that time, that was like a really crazy, not unheard of thing, because there have been games like, for me, there's like 2 early eras. It's small indie games like Cave Story, Binding of Isaac, and Super Meat Boy that were definitely successful indie games. But the one that really like tipped the scales for me was in 2014 when the first Shovel Knight came out. That was the first game to really get like a noticeable amount of spotlight and like a noticeable amount of marketing as compared to like other games, and it made it onto consoles as well. So like Shovel Knight was a really for me, it was like a first changing step for indie games, like getting more mainstream. So back to Axiom Verge, that just hearing that, like, Nintendo hasn't made a 2D Metroid game since Metroid Fusion, and that was 2006? Metroid Fusion was 2002. Jeez. Alright, yeah, so from 2002, and then the release of the very first Axiom Verge in 2015, and it really was that, like, it was very heavily inspired by Metroid, but it also had its own theming and identity and, like, different focus with all the weapons that you could unlock. So of course it was similar themed, but just that mix of weapons and, like, different IP, I don't know, it was, like, really refreshing. So Axiom Verge, one of my favorite indie games. I've been waiting a long time for Axiom Verge 2. I didn't even realize it, but it came out like 2 days ago during the Indie Direct. It was the same day release. And I don't know if that was even... Is there a release date here? That's for PlayStation. So the other thing is it's an early release for Nintendo Switch before it comes to, I suppose, like PC, PS4, and Xbox, which I'm sure it eventually will. So I bought the game on Switch already. I am hoping to start it today because I just finished Final Fantasy 1 and I'm ready to go. Like, I'm really excited for this game. So definitely check either the first game or the second game out if you haven't already. This was submitted by Big B, and I've seen whispers of this. So Disney game developer looking to re-release Marvel vs. Capcom 2 following a YouTuber's campaign. So I did see Maximilian's push for... What was the hashtag? It might... Let me read the article first. Fighting game YouTuber Maximilian Dude's campaign to re-release Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is acknowledged by the studio behind the Disney game's re-release. One game that has been a significant influence to fighting game communities is Marvel vs. Capcom 2: A New Age of Heroes. However, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 has spent the last decade unable to be officially purchased, which was the basis for an online campaign. I believe right now you can only do Dreamcast, PS2, and maybe an Xbox Arcade. Maximilian Dude is a YouTuber who's primarily focused in fighting games, covering series like Capcom, Street Fighter, the Bandai Namco's Tekken. One of the games he's also played is Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which has been delisted from digital stores like PSN for the past 7 years. So maybe you can get a physical, or maybe they just delisted it so you can re-download it. I'll have to look into that. This was enough for Maximilian Dude to start a campaign known as FreeMVC2, garner support to re-release the crossover game into modern systems. This ended up catching the attention of studio head of Digital Eclipse, who would be happy to support the project. Digital Eclipse is a game studio focused on game preservation. This includes porting the code of the older games to modern systems. Some of the releases include re-releases of the Disney Afternoon Collection. I heard about that. What's cool about this is this actually has a lot of obscure NES Disney titles. And that's a really good example of the person already doing a good job bringing something that's both obscure and doing it well and putting it on modern consoles. That's cool, I didn't know that. Compilation of Capcom published NES Disney games. With Digital Eclipse's focus on preservation and previous partnerships between Capcom and Disney, it seems like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, that's also true. This is literally Disney property. And so, like, the whole Marvel vs. Capcom is the IP, so Capcom and Marvel, because they both need approvals, it's like, that's one of the reasons up until now it's been hard to bring to modern consoles. Because every time you gotta, I guess, like, renegotiate. We made what I think was the last MVC2 release on console when we were known as Backbone. I love the outport. We swapped the GTPO and do documentary and museum work. We'll need to talk to Disney and Capcom to make it real. So this person is already in full support. Is this the person who was part of Digital Eclipse? Mike Mika, studio head at Digital Eclipse, agreed. Okay, alright, cool. While Digital Eclipse had experience working with reviving Capcom and Disney games in various collections, the company had also previously ported MVC2 to the PlayStation 3. This is what I was familiar with. Mika listed several improvements that would be made to this hypothetical port, such as the implementation of rollback netcode for a smoother experience. Here's Max's original tweet calling for the hashtag. The biggest hurdle for this re-release, as acknowledged by Maximilian Dude, Mika, and Frost, is that it would require a talk between all parties involved. This includes Digital Eclipse, Capcom, Marvel Comics, and Disney itself, in order to get this hypothetical remaster. So, again, like, we have a outcry for this. We have somebody who's willing to do the work under Digital Eclipse. And the biggest hurdle, which we haven't seen, is communication between Digital Eclipse, Capcom, Marvel Comics, and Disney. So, I love the support here, and I hope something comes of it, but we just have to wait and see, because as far as like accessibility goes, this game is really hard to get your hands on, and I think it was a good first step. Like, this is also really promising, seeing that they worked on the Disney Afternoon Collection, because I heard about this. So yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes, and I'm in support of it too. This week was the Indie Nintendo Direct, and we saw quite a few things that I was interested in. So the first one is this is something that I followed the announcement trailer for, but we got a first actual trailer for the game, and I'm gonna stop the music because the soundtrack for this is pretty good. So this is pretty much a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio, which has been silent since Jet Set Radio Future. And this is made by the same people who did... It was that fighting game. I actually have it on my wishlist on Steam. Lethal League. So, like, the art style is very similar to Lethal League. And, like, I mean, it fits this really well. I feel like it fits, I played Jet Set Radio a couple years ago, and the art style, like, really holds up. So seeing this, like a modern output of it, like I assume like 1080 to 4K. I don't know, I'm just excited for this project too. It's an indie game made by the people who did Lethal League Blaze. It just pretty much Jet Set Radio from beat to beat, but its own IP. So I think that it having its own IP, giving them the freedom to do whatever they want, is like even more promising. So I'm excited to see where this project goes, and this trailer being on the Indie Direct shows that it's being ported to Switch, which is, you know, a great console to put a game like this on. We talked about Axiom Verge. This is the launch trailer, so it is officially out. Tetris Effect Connected, I'm surprised to see on the Switch. This I played this year, and I actually did a YouTube. When did my video come out on it? I actually released a review on Tetris Effect Connected because I played it 6 months ago. So I got my Xbox Series X, and it had a trial for Game Pass, and the trial was, I think, 14 days, which like really wasn't enough for me to really get into something. So instead, I used my Game Pass trial to play Tetris Effect, and I'm really glad I did. The downside to this game is it's expensive for being what is essentially just Tetris. But the presentation really makes it more than that. This game was really fun to play through, and I hope to own it in some fashion officially, because I just played it through Game Pass, so I never bought it. But I really enjoyed this game so much that I made that short YouTube review of it, hoping that more people would play it. It's being brought to Switch, which is great, and it is the connected version, which released later, which includes online features. So yeah, I mean, if this at all looks interesting to you, and if my recommendation means anything to you, then I say check it out. Just a game that I've been following on the side. I want to try Loop Hero because it looks interesting. I'm kind of waiting for any sort of physical release, But it did get announced that it's coming to Switch, and I don't know much about it other than I'm excited that this is coming to Switch, and maybe it'll incentivize me to check it out sooner, but right now I'm waiting for some sort of physical release before I get into it. So I've always got a backlog of games to try out. I'll skip the SMT5, because, you know, I do that every week. Brand new trailer for SMT5, coming out in November, I believe, so it's getting closer and closer. And this is just an announcement, so it's something that I can talk about. So the date's for the 18th. So I can talk about that next Saturday when there's actual details for this. But it says tune into our YouTube channel on Wednesday, August 18th at 6 PDT for a video presentation for Pokemon, for the new Pokemon games, which is Diamond Pearl remakes and Arceus. I think that I am interested in getting details for both, because I want to know if there's actually new content being announced for the Diamond and Pearl. I am not going to be convinced with Arceus until it actually comes out. Like, I feel like it has to run well, and I was not convinced in the trailer, so we'll see. So we'll talk about that more next week when we've seen the Pokemon Direct. That wraps up the gaming news, so again, if you have anything you want to post, it's here in the Discord, and I'll go over it every Saturday. So with that, we will move to Returnal. Because last time I hit this checkpoint where I did a complete run, but things aren't quite the same anymore, so I'm curious to see what all these future runs are going to look like. Oh, even this ship is rusted. So, like, time here goes forward, but Selena's still the same age after living, after living for so long. She had a full life. That sucks. Like, that blows my mind. She escaped, lived the rest of her life, died of old age, and winds up back here. Like, that's awful. I am curious to see what's changed. Well, that doesn't quite heal me up. It's a start. Where's my switch? The worst part is you can hear it first. Sounds like up here, but I can't tell. Just a free chest. I don't know if I like the idea of these. Like, it's always close by, but it slows down the game so much just stopping to look for these. Oh, there it is. That was a good hiding spot. That doesn't count. Come on. Alright, how do I get up there? Ooh. Okay, I can see it from here. Oh, I start with 15. I didn't realize. What am I looking at here? Oh.
Helios, have I always been here? Let's become part of them.
Back up.
No, no. This isn't me.
Alright, back up from the tentacles. Please. Stressing me out. Oh, don't tell me like all these enemies are her, because the enemies do that. I guess when the dead other party members die, they look like that too.
This is the song I was always playing.
Oh, we're starting with robots. Dang, they look kind of cool. I didn't look to see if this was the same area as the first. It definitely looks different, but it's been a while. In this game, of course. I thought those were the ones from the tower. I'm glad they get done quickly. I did not get the good gun for this. Alright, I'm thinking there's gotta be secrets back here. There's secrets. Secrets indeed. Oh jeez, I almost didn't see that. It doesn't matter whether or not I saw it. Alright, what do we have here? Do I want... There's never like an opportunity where I just want more oblates.
No. My home on Atropos.
Excuse me?
I'll save this for later.
You can't save the game. What the...
Still need to play quietly.
What is this?
Attention, attention. This is Captain Diverdown. Are you ready to submerge? Over. Roger. Tell the crew to finish preparations. We've waited for too long, and the weather is turning. There's a storm.
This has gotta be like baby Celine.
This is an order. We have to get away from here as soon as possible. I'm relying on you. Godspeed.
Godspeed. I'm just surprised this girl was able to find a PS5. It's tough out here. Oh, I saw the astronaut. Oh, octopus. There's a lot of tentacle stuff going on. I feel like that's gotta be important. This is just something that keeps coming up. Maybe this is all just a bad dream. What else can I do in here?
You're always breaking down.
What? What's it made of?
They're all hollow.
Rude. Alright, I'll be back. I hope it's not. I hope the game doesn't shut off, because there's no way I can save. Oh, this is the upstairs room. I don't know if I've been able to be in here. Alright, the light says to go down. I'm not tall enough for that. Oh, man.
Hi, sweetheart.
Oh, it's not.
I'm not coming home. But I left your favorite dinner lying at the bottom of the refrigerator, okay? If you heat it up for 8 minutes and 36 seconds, everything will be just fine. Just fine. Just fine. Just fine. See you soon.
What the... Is there a kitchen in this house? Because I sure haven't seen one. Probably not that way. I have no idea how to use the microwave. I'm scared. Alright, not going that way. I guess I gotta go back upstairs. Oh, kitchen? Kitchen, let's go. I thought I heard breathing. I just need to get to the microwave. Wait, this is in the microwave. Why can't I interact with everything but the microwave? I guess I got cereal.
I want to tell you a story. About one of the captain's adventures.
Yesterday, centuries ago, or in a dream of the future. Let's talk about the future.
In a dream of the future, he met
Villainous chocolate jellyfish. Her Majesty Twin Rainbow Coral Queen.
Her Majesty, Twin Rainbow Coral Queen, and they
Hugged abyssal lights extra tight. I don't even know what those words mean together. Ooh, that sounds... The witch's sunken treasures?
stole the witch's sunken riches. The end. What do you think? It's so cool, right?
Be sure to review 5 stars on Yelp.
In the future, Majesty, Coral Queen, stole sunken riches.
I didn't even eat dinner. Okay, well I can go upstairs or... Can I go to the basement? I cannot. Can I leave? Whoa. Alright, back to my room. What's up, Shark? You missed the gaming news. We're on the gaming game now. Oh, I guess I'm... Helios. I'm getting the plot delivered right now. Alright, I guess I'm going this way. Yeah. Octo. I hope we're on good terms this time.
Otto!
Uh,
Look, look. Look,
back up!
it's Otto.
Thank God that nightmare's over. Back to reality, I suppose. I don't know what's worse. It seems to create a positive relation between ether and protection. What do we got? Ooh, new weapon. Electropylon driver. Ooh. Wait, what is that? Do they connect to each other? I can make art. A really cool looking weapon. How are you doing today, Shark? Doing a short stream today because I want to play Axiom Verge. That came out 2 days ago. And I'm itching to play it. And also Back for Blood. That's, I got to play a little bit of that yesterday. The open beta, I think, just started yesterday. Ooh, nice. I felt lazy this morning, so I didn't... I'll usually just make eggs and sausage, but I went for the frozen sandwiches this morning. Feeling kind of low energy, but it is only Saturday. I think I'm just going to have a chill day at home today and tomorrow. And kind of recharge. The dash is disabled in here.
I can smell my corpses rotting.
Wouldn't this hurt if I walk down there?
High above. Others from pits. They refuse to speak with me except to say, "You are severing." What have I become?
Okay. How am I supposed to get across there? The floor is lava. I guess I gotta turn back. Had to put him out of his misery. I don't even have a dash for that room. If I was playing any other game, this would look like a secret to me where I gotta jump down, but I'm not playing that kind of game. No siree. Oh, I'm missing a door. Okay, it's not a secret bottomless pit. I had to look up, not down. It's pretty early in this run. I don't have any cash. Probably not good for my health running through those. There's something in this corner. Wait, further back. Oh, and this. Okay, yeah, yeah. I ignored that for a reason.
I'm starting to see patterns that I know are not there. I cannot trust my memories. The planet knows me better than I know myself.
That me
The
too?
hive mind and the severed are real.
Yep.
Helios is real. The astronaut is missing. I haven't found it anywhere. Where has it gone? And phantom roses of the mind? Has the severed language evolved?
This is getting interesting. Requires 2 keys to open the boss door. That's different. Well, at least some of these other enemies are back. Oh, back and scarier, actually. Glad it only takes 1 hit to knock them out of whatever they're doing. I'm just everywhere now. Oh. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't run away from me. I said don't run away to a stationary turret. Like I'm the bigger person. Oh, that wasn't even the type of healing I thought it was. Is that everyone? Or more? So... Oh, okay, that's what I thought. So now this laser's here. I wonder how to practically do this. I guess I can tag an enemy and get it stuck to him, and then it does continuous damage. That's pretty neat. It's a place to respawn, but since I'm so new to this area, I'm not gonna invest in a good run. I just want to figure out what's going on. Okay. I'm good. I need 1 more key and then I can fight the boss. We're gonna just skip that. This away. That's a lot of bonus damage. I do like that new weapon. I like the visual effect when the dash is disabled, so like you really know. Does that turn off? So I'm not going back down there. I think there's even like a really tiny visual filter in the areas you can't dash. Let's see. I think there is. Yeah, that's cool. It's not too common, these areas. Okay. Just tearing him up. Ground spike is a necessity. I'm really just looking at the bonus damage. That's all that matters to me. Oh, even the vines you run right through. It's a cool effect. The attention to detail here. One of the 2 keys that together unlock... Oh, okay, so there's a special key, not just any key. That means anytime I want to progress, I gotta find both keys. Just boot scoot buggy on out of here. Okay, I don't want to go to the right. That was that floor's lava room. I can go back to the boss door and just head a different way. Just gonna fast travel over there. Right here. So every room typically stops you for combat, but there's different types of rooms. So I'm not trying to do it at any particular speed or fashion, but that red door that's right here, I need 2 keys for, so I gotta explore this area to find them before I can move on to the next area. So they give you a roadblock between areas. Man, I think I got a good gun here. Oh, I didn't realize he was here. As soon as I clear out a room, I just look for all the goodies that are inside. Okay, not a bottomless pit. Oh, I missed. That's a really tight timing. What are you doing? He got stuck. Yeah, so they have handcrafted rooms, but the rooms are combined together in a random way every time, similar to how Hades does it, which I think is overall like a better way to do it. It means that you can, like a handcraft, like there's not a better word, like you can design it specifically in like a personal way, I guess. So that things make sense. Because if you have like randomly generated rooms in terms of layout, it can kind of blend together too much. Whereas these rooms I recognize every run, but the things that are in them are different every time. So it's and the rooms make sense combat-wise. Like nothing's designed weird. So they're just like arenas depending on what kind of room you go in. Hang on. Oh, I did come over here. And then again, there's different types of rooms. So the blue ones typically have rewards in them. Locked, there's sometimes locked doors. Ooh, these guys are new. Oh, that did a lot of damage. Ow, if I knew they just took 2 melee shots, I'd be way less intimidated. So now that the room is clear, I can loot for goodies. I don't even think the randomization part of the game really has that much influence. But it's nice because you are repeating what's essentially the same content a lot.
Hard times have come here, but now they're gone.
Dude, I'm afraid to see what's coming next.
I silenced it, but now it's stuck
Ooh.
inside me. I don't deserve this.
Like, I can't even comprehend what's happening to her, but I feel so bad.
She hears the music too. I'm starting to understand what destroyed her mind.
This gun is so good. This is nullification sphere. That's awesome. That's a really good item. I just give myself debuffs and clear them right up.
Casino archives. Even years later, I still dreamt of them. A tree riddled with eyes.
No, I'm good. I like what I have.
The slaughter of bipedal vertebrates.
At some point, nobody will be able to tell the difference between infinitely random generated levels and a few dozen constructed ones. So... So in this game, these areas, you see the same areas every time you replay it. They're just in a different order. So like, I, as a player, notice that these areas are the same and repeating, just like connected differently.
By tentacles.
I don't think that's a bad thing. But on the other hand, I can't think of a good example of the other way. Like, I want to say, like Diablo, but I haven't really played it. Hades does the same thing as Returnal, where it's like handcrafted but connected. I just feel like areas would be too boring if they were randomly generated because of the assets. As far as numbers, well, you can tell. So in this game, you can tell. But if it's infinitely generated, I feel like the level designs get too boring compared to handcrafted ones. Like, you wouldn't see this level of detail in something that's like completely randomly generated. Like, a lot of times it would be flat or like snap piece assets, which is fine depending on the game. I don't think there's like, I don't think one's better than the other, but I appreciate the handcrafted like level design for this game specifically. I just can't think of a game that like does the fully random thing off the top of my head. I guess like Binding of Isaac is one. Those are probably completely random. I think there's a use for it. But it has to be meaningful. Like, the main gameplay loop is more important than whether or not things are randomly generated. I don't know, it's definitely a conversation I gotta think about having. It's a good conversation about random generation and how much it's used. Because, I mean, it's definitely necessary for roguelikes. Like, I'm starting to appreciate roguelikes more after playing Hades, because it's basically the new version of arcade games. Like, playing Pac-Man or Galaga, you're doing it for the high score. Hades and Returnal, you're replaying through the same content again, but every time it's different, and there's still a way for you to progress. So, like, Hades progresses you through a story the more you play it. Returnal also progresses you through this story the further you get, while, like, replaying but still being introduced to new stuff. So, like, I really have a good appreciation for it now. Ones that do it well. Increase proficiency rate by 15%. That's like half my money. I'm gonna not do that. Yeah, I do think that these games are modern day arcade games just because of the difficulty, redoing content, but they make redoing content fun. Which is like, you could say the same for the old school arcade games, but they are the same every time. Because they're designed just for high score in mind. And I like it. Like, I love the difficulty. Even if I redo content in this game, it has a check mark, or it has a checkpoint system. That's not a literal, like, checkpoint system, but it's like you unlock things that give you shortcuts to get to the new content, or the current content faster. It's really interesting. I think this kind of level design, or game design, is really cool. I'd like to, like, sit down and think of video stuff for this game, because I really like how it does its progression. That'd probably be, like, the main focus I'd want to do for this. I hope I can do one for it, because it's a really interesting game. I think they did a really good job at Housemarque. I think I went the wrong way. No. I think I just need to... bash. Oh yeah, I have both keys, so I can just... I'm actually really close. I've been playing Muck lately. It almost feels like progression by knowledge. What is Muck? I'm gonna Google that. My thing was I always didn't like roguelikes because they felt very grindy. Like, they were... some of them were designed in ways where you literally can't get to the end of the game once you boot it up. Like, you gotta keep playing through it and fail until you get better. But I like the games where it's about intrinsic skill. So, like, now that I've played Hades a bunch, if I just booted up a fresh save file, I could probably get a lot farther than the very first time I did my very first run on Hades. Because it's about that knowledge you have as a player. What is this game, Muck? Am I looking at the same thing? Survival roguelike, collect resources, find items, build base. I'll have to look into this. This is very positive reviews. How'd you hear of this game? PvP co-op. Looks cool. Oh, it is free. I didn't notice. That's awesome. I can probably purchase something. Successful overloads increase speed and protection. I want that. For adrenaline level. Can I buy both? Almost. Literally almost. Let's go grab 3, because I'm getting to the boss. Oh man. Like not gonna be close by either. Looks like there's one. I'm gonna do one of the malignant. Actually, I can open this first. Ah, why has it gotta be worse? Because if I find another one of the corrupted these things, then I can just heal afterwards. So I've got that. Alright, so now I've got enough. Have you been streaming it? I'll have to watch you stream it. Alright, I got the keys. Oh, this looks familiar. What? Oh wait, he takes more than 2 now? I guess I gotta shoot him a little bit. I guess I should just run. I don't think this door is locked.
The tower.
Suckers.
It draws me as the White Shadow Tower did so long ago.
Why has my transfer been delayed? I have ways to deal with that. Delusions.
Maybe I'm not at the boss.
No, they're helping me stay balanced. I've made a lot of progress. What is everyone expecting to find? If they shine a light at me, they'll see the shadow they expect every time.
I remember that day. I wish I'd stayed.
Okay, so this is gonna eventually be a gate. That explains the water. Looks like I gotta jump down in the water. And this is another gate. So it looks like I do need to grab both keys every run. I don't have any parasites. I see into a lake of madness. It would have been better if... It would have been better if corpse in a wheelchair. I get it. Wait, where do I go? Can I go? Oh, I gotta go up. I didn't realize there was an up. Okay. Where's that health? Right here. Oh man. Of course I can't reach it from down here. Just trying to speed run this. Do the old 1, 2. Now I can get over there. Alright, what you got for me? Increases the positive effect of parasites. I really like this game. Really good. And also, I'm trying not to jinx myself, but the game hasn't crashed for me yet. which seemed to be really common for some people. But I didn't play it on release, so there obviously some patches have gone through to fix the stability of the game, which is great.
The song is so loud. I have to silence it.
Ooh.
The song. Why are you playing it?
Oh, I missed. That sucks. Ooh, I missed that. I got this. This guy's got nothing on me. Did I even hit him that time? Couldn't tell. He's walking slightly to the left. Time for the remix. Man. Wait. Is that behind me? Wow, I thought there was something happening behind me because of the red flash. Yeah, like, we're... Okay. That is an attack. Ooh. I feel so much better at this game. Like, that's what I'm talking about, intrinsic skill. But I feel a lot better at this game from when I started. Even if I won't beat the boss this time, that's cool. I'm smarter than I was last time. Oh, jeez. What? That was not a good idea. Thought I was doing damage, but apparently not enough. Whew. Oh no, I meant to jump. His last health bar was a lot shorter than the others. I felt like I was on to something. That was close.
It never stops.
Yeah, nope. Not that lucky. Thanks for watching the video. If you want to see more like it, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. I also stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/RyanBeardy. Follow me on Twitter at RyanBeardy, and I have a Discord with the links below.